Mike, let's watch a slideshow. You shouldn't play video games for so long.
Oh yeah? I'll play as long as I want.
Look, don't you have any other games that you can play?
I already played them all. And I'm tired of cars. And Mom won't let me go play at Peter's house.
You can come up with a game yourself. For example, you can pretend to travel. Oh, I have an interesting slideshow to watch, which is all about traveling. Switching on the magic lantern. 5 Hours in a Balloon. Based on a book by Jules Verne. One fine day, Dr. Ferguson and his manservant Joe sat by the fireplace feeling very bored.
See? They're bored just like me. It's because they don't have video games to play.
Suddenly, Dr. Ferguson asked, "Shall we go on a journey?" "As you wish," said Joe. "One question. How will we travel?"
Traveling? Journeys? What's so great about that?
Instead of answering, Dr. Ferguson thought a moment, then took a pencil and started drawing a diagram. "We shall travel by hot air balloon," figured Joe.
You can't go far in a balloon, can you?
Indeed you can. The doctor decided they would go on a journey in a balloon and started building it himself. Soon, everything was ready.
Forget it, Kate. My games are a gazillion times better than a balloon.
The journey started out very well. Dr. Ferguson and Joe made some tasty coffee, sat down, and watched the monkey bread trees as they passed by high above.
See? I told you. Journeys can sometimes be totally boring.
The travelers decided to have a better look at the monkey bread trees and dropped an anchor on one of the trees. The balloon basket was immediately surrounded by strange creatures.
Who are they, Kate?
"Who are these gentlemen?" asked the doctor with surprise. "These are not gentlemen, these are monkeys," explained Joe. "And they want our dinner."
Where do they come from?
The doctor quickly untied the anchor and the balloon flew up towards the sky.
Goodbye, little monkeys.
Suddenly, the thunder rumbled, lightning flashed, and a terrible rain poured down. Joe said, "The weather's getting worse, sir. It's a pity we don't have an umbrella."
Now that's some rain.
Dr. Ferguson directed the balloon up higher. The balloon flew up through a thundercloud and came up on the other side of it. It was quiet there, and the sun was shining brightly.
Kate, did you see that? They went through a whole bunch of clouds.
"Now we can have some snacks," said Ferguson. "As you wish, sir," said Joe. "But all of our food, it was taken by the monkeys. We might be on time for lunch at home, though."
What? That's it?
But making it back for lunch wasn't such an easy task. The wind stopped, and the air was perfectly still. The balloon just hovered in the same spot.
So what? That looks like so much fun.
Just then, there were 3 eagles flying by. "Hold on, I think I might have an idea," exclaimed Ferguson.
What did he come up with?
Ferguson captured the eagles, harnessed them to the balloon, and they flew off, towing the travelers right to their house.
Cool!
Dr. Ferguson and Joe made it back just in time for lunch, and they had a huge appetite.
All right, you convinced me. Let's pretend to go on a big journey. Where should we travel to?
"Excellent journey," said Ferguson. "Tomorrow, I suggest we go to the moon." Joe replied, "As you wish, sir, but this time, I'm taking an umbrella with me. You never can be too careful."
Okay then, to the moon!
"Mike, how do you suggest we get to the moon?"
That's easy. We'll just play make-believe. But Kate, by any chance, do you happen to have a slideshow that talks about, the moon?
Magic lantern. Hey, Mike, turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, is it okay if I play a little more? I just started playing.
Just started, huh?
Yeah, Kate, I just started to play. I've only been playing for 5 minutes. Honest.
Mike, you really make up a lot of things, just like Baron Munchausen.
Who is that?
Well, let's watch a slideshow and find out. Switching on the magic lantern. Truthful Munchausen, based on a book by Eric Raspa. My name is Baron Munchausen. I am the most truthful person in the world, and I will prove it now.
So what, Kate? I'm also very truthful.
Like I said, you're just like Munchausen. One day, I was off on a very important business trip during the winter. It was snowing heavily, and I was looking for a place to stay for the night. I tied my horse to a pole and lay down to sleep right in the middle of a snowbank.
I remember once I laid down in the snow, and then I got bronchitis.
When I woke up, I couldn't understand anything. I was lying in the middle of a town square, and my horse was hanging from the spire of a tall tower.
His mom probably took him to a warmer place during the night so that he wouldn't get cold.
Yeah, and she put him right in the middle of the town square. I understood everything. In the evening, the town was covered in snow, and in the morning, the sun thawed the snow. While I was asleep, I went down as the snow on the ground melted, but my horse, who was tied up, could not. Then I shot its bridle, and in a minute, I was back on my horse.
Kate, can you really do that?
And another time, I went duck hunting, but I forgot my rifle. At that moment, a big flock of ducks flew to the lake. I didn't know what to do.
He went hunting and forgot his rifle?
I took out a slice of lard, tied it to a long rope, and threw it to the ducks. The first duck ate the lard, but it was so slippery that it flew out from its behind. The second duck swam and ate the lard, and then the third. Soon, all the ducks were threaded onto the rope. So once they took off, I was able to fly right behind them. Within a short time, I learned how to steer the ducks. I was able to have them bring me home.
I don't think you can really do that.
Another time, I was hunting a deer. I had a rifle, but I ran out of bullets. And all of a sudden, a deer showed up right in front of me.
Now he's going to shoot with lard again?
I loaded the rifle with a cherry pit and fired. It shot into the deer's forehead and it ran away.
One question. Why is he shooting with food all the time?
But a year later, I met the same deer in the same forest. And amazingly, a cherry tree was now growing right between his antlers. It's true! That's exactly how it was.
I think that he actually made everything up.
And another thing happened. I went horseback riding in the country, and when I was on my way back, someone closed the town gates just as I was able to squeeze through.
So what? That can happen.
My horse was very tired, and I went up to a well to give it some water. But my horse was drinking and drinking. I turned around and saw that my horse was missing the rear part of its body, and that the water was simply flowing out.
Kate, he's not truthful. He's nothing but a liar.
He's not lying, Mike. He's making it up so that it's more interesting. That's all. It turned out that the town gates had closed and cut off the rear half of my horse. I found the rear half and sewed it to the front half. So my horse was like brand new.
He sewed it? He could have said that he glued it.
That's exactly how those things happened. Don't you doubt it. For I am Baron Munchausen, the most truthful man in the world. Well, Mike, what did this slideshow make you understand?
I understood that it's not good to lie.
Oh, really, Mike? Good for you.
I will never lie. Never again. I will only make up things. That's okay, right?
Magic Lantern. Mike. Turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, I can't. My mission has just started. I just landed on the moon.
Landed on the moon? Really?
Of course, on the moon. Now I'm going to build a colony there.
Okay, that's great. This is perfect. Then we're going to watch a slideshow all about life on the moon. Switching on the magic lantern. Munchausen on the Moon, based on a book by Eric Raspa. My friends, do you recognize me? I am Baron Munchausen, the most truthful man in the world. And not only in the world, but also on the moon. Listen.
Oh, Baron Munchausen. Remember, Kate? He's the guy who was doing all that shooting with food.
One day, I was traveling around the Orient. I bought a bunch of strange beans from a merchant. The merchant was trying to say something about them, but I couldn't understand a single word.
Beans. He's probably going to load his rifle with them.
When I got home, I tried to cook them, but they didn't seem edible to me, so I gave up, threw them out the window. In the morning, I was so surprised to see gigantic beanstalks just outside the window. They reached all the way up to the sky, as far as the eye could see.
Wow, that's what the merchant was trying to tell him.
I was curious and climbed up the beanstalk.
I would go up too, out of curiosity.
Sure you would. You also ate toothpaste out of curiosity.
It smelled like candy.
I climbed higher and higher until I reached the moon. I had plenty of time to spare, so I decided to take a little walk on the moon.
Hold on a second. Don't you need a spacesuit if you're gonna walk around on the moon?
No, people like Baron Munchausen don't. As you know, the moon is made of cheese. It's very convenient if you're tired and hungry after a long journey.
It's made of cheese? Kate, I didn't even know that.
You thought it was made of toothpaste? Milk flows in the moon's rivers instead of water. And gingerbread and butter tarts grow on trees.
Granny bakes gingerbread and butter tarts. Apples grow on trees. Watermelons, too.
Sure, Mike, and tomatoes and cucumbers as well. But the most interesting thing is that there are inhabitants on the moon. They also grow on trees. Some trees yield government officials, others yield ice cream makers. They also have chefs and tailors.
Do people grow on trees?
Some do. You grew up on an oak, Mike. Their food is mainly cheese and gingerbread. They open a small door in their stomachs and put the cheese or gingerbread there. That way, they don't waste time eating and are free to do other things.
I'd like that too. So convenient.
Of course it is, and it'd be convenient to put toothpaste there too. The moon inhabitants carry their heads under their arms. And sometimes they even leave their heads at home so that they don't damage it. Mike, maybe you're from the moon too. Interestingly, they have 7 fingers on each hand. That's why they can sew and stitch boots much quicker than we can. They use their bellies as suitcases. They put whatever they want there and lock them up with a key. It's very convenient for traveling.
Where would they travel to? They're already on the moon.
I don't know. Maybe they'd go to Saturn? When I had enough walking on the moon, I went back to the beanstalk, climbed down to Earth. The trip down was very easy, and soon I was back at home.
And if you were to plant these beans, on the moon, do you think that the beanstalk would reach Saturn?
No, they can only reach Mars. But why are you laughing? It's the complete truth. If you don't believe me, climb up to the moon and see it for yourself.
Kate, do they actually sell these beans anywhere?
Why?
I could really go for some cheese with gingerbread now.
Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, time's up. We're going to watch a slideshow.
I don't want to. I don't like watching your slideshows.
Well, then you want to bet that you'll like this one?
Okay, if I don't like it, you clean up the room and pick up the toys. If I do like it, then I will.
That's great. It's a deal. Okay, then. What slideshow shall we pick? One about dolls? No. How about fashion? I got it. Switching on the magic lantern. From Cannon to the Moon, based on a book by Jules Verne. Nicholas and Barnaby have been friends since childhood, and for as long as they can remember, they've always made bets with each other.
Look, you see? They also made a bet.
The friends bet who could run faster to school, who was able to stand longer on one leg, and who could eat more ice cream.
That's a good idea. Let's try standing on one leg, too.
The friends grew up, and each of them became famous scientists. But of course, they never stopped betting.
Wanna bet?
So, Mike, do you like the slideshow?
No, it's really boring.
Late one evening, after returning from a meeting of a group of noted scientists, Nicholas said, "Want to bet that I can fly to the moon?"
Really? To the moon?
Barnaby then replied, "Want to bet that I will fly to the moon?" The friends decided to meet on Friday to see who among them was the winner.
Who's going to win?
Neither Nicholas nor Barnaby knew how to fly to the moon. But a bet is a bet. So they had to invent something quickly.
Hold on, I've got it. They need to build a teleporter. Or something really boring like that.
Barnaby thought, and finally he was able to invent a cannon that could launch something all the way to the moon. But he couldn't think of what he would put in it.
Can you reach the moon from a cannon? I told you I wasn't gonna like the slideshow.
Nicholas thought, and he invented a spaceship that would actually travel all the way to the moon. But he didn't know how he would be able to launch it.
Even better, a spaceship.
Nicholas and Barnaby each worked very hard for a whole week.
They won't be able to come up with anything anyway.
On Friday, the friends met again. Nicholas showed his cannon and Barnaby his spaceship, but neither of them could reach the moon. The friends wanted to bet on something just out of habit.
Well, Kate, get ready for a big cleanup.
But suddenly, it occurred to them. What if they were to combine the inventions?
What does that mean?
The spaceship fit into the cannon perfectly. Nicholas and Barnaby lit the fuse together and then quickly climbed into the spaceship. Suddenly, the cannon fired, and the spaceship was sent hurtling into the sky. It traveled with cosmic speed.
They should be careful. They're gonna explode.
And after about 30 minutes, the friends found themselves standing on the moon.
All right, it worked.
They were immediately surrounded by the local inhabitants, aliens. They showed them around the moon and gave them ice cream to take home and give to the people on Earth.
Wow, I wonder what different flavors of ice cream they have.
Nicholas and Barnaby said goodbye to the aliens and flew back home.
What? Is that the end? Oh, I just started to like this.
At one point, Nicholas said, "I'll bet that I could eat more ice cream than you." "Oh yeah? Well, I'll bet that I could eat more," said Barnaby. And they ate all the ice cream they had, and none was left for the people on Earth.
All right, you win. I'll clean up. But first, want to bet that I'm gonna like another slideshow?
I'm sure you will. But before that, I bet you'll put away your toys. Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, turn off the video game. We are going to watch a slideshow.
I want to play. I earned so many bonuses. I'm not about to share them with anyone right now.
You won't share it even with friends?
No! I need all these bonuses for myself.
Amazing. Well, in that case, we'll watch a slideshow about what happens when you don't share things with friends. Switching on the magic lantern. The Little Island of Shipwreck, based on a book by Alexander Belya. One day, Reginald got really bored. So he decided to go on an ocean voyage to entertain himself.
When I feel bored, I play video games, that's all.
Mike, you also play video games when you're happy, which means that you're pretty much playing them all the time. Beautiful Viviana was traveling in the cabin next to his. Let's be bored together, said Reginald. All right, agreed Viviana.
Is it possible to be bored together?
It just depends on who you're with at the time. It sure is with you. One night, a terrible hurricane approached, and the ship started to sink. All the passengers and the crew got into boats and sailed away. But Reginald and Viviana were still asleep in their cabins.
What about the captain? Isn't he supposed to be the last to leave the ship?
The next to last. Now just keep watching. When they went out on the deck, there was no one left there. And the half-sunk ship was drifting in the sea. No one will save us, cried Viviana.
Will they be saved?
Keep watching, don't interrupt. Then they saw a small island in the distance. We're saved! Viviana and Reginald were happy.
Phew!
It was the strangest island in the world. It consisted of half-sunken ships, all gathered together by the current, right in the middle of the ocean.
Hold on! I thought all the islands were made of sand.
Not all of them, as you can see. Sailors from all over the world lived on that island. Sailor Slayton was the leader there. He declared himself the king of the island.
If this guy is a king, where is his crown?
In the lobby on a hanger. Keep watching. Welcome to my kingdom, said Slayton. Would you like to eat some raw fish? I can't eat raw fish, said beautiful Viviana.
I can't eat fish either. Only if it's sushi.
Slayton looked angrily at beautiful Viviana. He said, You will be my wife! Viviana protested. I will not! Reginald added, She will not! Slayton ordered, Put him in the hold! And Reginald was tied and thrown into the hold.
Why did they tie him up? Because he wouldn't eat raw fish?
Mr. Reginald was able to untie the ropes, but the door of the hold was locked. Reginald started throwing around the barrels that were put along the walls of the hold. Maybe there's another exit here.
Kate, what's in the barrels anyway?
Keep watching. There were candies and cookies in the barrels. That's what King Slayton is eating. Behind one of the barrels, there was a secret passage, and Reginald climbed up on the deck from the hold. Mike, you would probably eat all the candies first.
You would eat them too.
He found the beautiful Viviana, and they climbed into an old boat in order to get away from the island. Catch them! Cried Slayton.
Hang on, Reginald! We're rooting for you!
Slayton is lying to you, yelled Reginald. He gives you raw fish to eat, and he himself eats candies and cookies. So the sailors rushed back to attack Slayton.
Hurry up, you guys! Get to the hold! The candies are there!
Reginald and Viviana got home safe and sound. Since then, they've never been bored. Do you understand now that you have to share things with friends?
Yes, I do.
Will you share things with me?
No.
Why not?
You're my sister. And they didn't say anything about sisters in the slideshow.